Hello and welcome to This is Nigeria, Unlocking Her Potential. Now, this is the program that showcases Nigeria's investment and development opportunities across the 36 states of Nigeria and with a special focus on the non-oil sectors of the economy. And today we're talking agribusiness and the border closure. Yes, you heard right. That has been a trending topic recently in our polity. And I have with me in the studio to discuss extensively with great insight into the issues in the person of Mohammed Adibola, the MD of Smarter Fakan.
Thank you.
And seated next to him is Sam Kagbo, a legal advisor.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So let me go straight to you, Adibola. The agribusiness in Nigeria is taking a whole new dimension. Because I've been at several summits recently. There's been Feed Nigeria Summit, Coconut Summit, and I had the Nigerian Diaspora Investment Summit. Was also full of topics on agriculture and agribusiness. That we're moving away from the culture of agriculture to agribusiness, finally. Can you shed more light?
Globally, agribusiness accounts for about $5 trillion.
Wow.
Okay, that was very huge, and Nigeria is a key player there. 201 million mouths to feed daily, and largest economy.
How many million mouths?
201 million.
Wow.
To feed, and about largest economy in Africa.
Okay.
That is very huge. And in Africa, coming up, the food value for now today is about $325 billion. Okay, in Africa. And by 2030, this should gross about $1 trillion. Okay, so being about 20% of African population, this tells clearly that Nigeria has a whole lot of advantage. Okay, looking at agri from the business perspective. So we're here to take advantage of the border closure, so I can spur productivity, okay, across the smallholders, who are, of course, in their millions, so that Nigerians can feed, themselves and, fill in the industrial material space, create jobs and values, okay, across the agro-commodity value chains, and then, create wealth for ourselves. So the border closure is a big opportunity that has come at the right time,
okay,
for Nigerians.
Okay. So let me come to you, Sam Kagbo. What is the implication for food security, this border closure? I think this is the longest we have ever had. It's either 1 week, 2 weeks before, and something we cave in again. But this time around, the president seems to be standing his ground.
Well, let me start with where I think we should start from. The characterization here is what I think that is negative. When you say border closure, you give the impression that Nigeria is saying nobody should come in or go out. No, but I think what they are doing and saying is that Nigeria should do what it ought to have been doing long before now, which is close all the illegal routes.
Okay.
The official border routes are open. No, those are not closed.
Okay.
It's those illegal routes where people smuggle in things that are being closed.
That have been otherwise porous.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if we start from that understanding, we would see why it is necessary, and we now try to link it to what we are trying to do, which is diversifying the economy and concentrate on agriculture, which, to my mind, is the nearest way for us to develop. What am I saying here? If you want to industrialize, if you take away the machines, light, and other infrastructure, every other thing that you depend for industrialization has its root on agriculture. For an example, this table has its root to agriculture. You understand? It's an end product of what? An agricultural business.
Even pharmaceutical.
So, the clothes we are wearing here, all of this, except those that are synthetic, they are all what? Product of agriculture. And a sizable number of the people, the 201 million people he's talking about, if I can guess, about 60% of them, their livelihood depends on what? Agriculture. So if government is now saying, let us focus on that and reject it and give it the necessary boost and assistance for people to actually benefit from it and to actually attract private investment in it, so good and well.
All right, we'll go on a short break. We'll be back.
No nation depends on one source of revenue if it wants to create a sustainable economic development and a future for its citizens. Countries have all grown and sustained their respective economies through non-oil exports, and Nigeria Export Promotion Council (NEPC) is strategically positioned to do more on 22 priority export products under the Zero Oil Plan, the One State, One Product initiative, and the Nigeria Diaspora Export Program, which are needed pillars of success in our economic recovery and growth plan. Invest in non-oil export business such as sorghum, cassava, yam, shea nut, ginger, and reap bountifully. Export business guarantees a prosperous future through inclusive wealth and job creation. Join hands to make Nigeria one of the top 20 largest economies in the world. Export business, tomorrow's business. For further inquiries, visit .nepc.gov.ng.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, we're talking agribusiness, border closure, and food security. Before we went away, you were stressing a point. Are you done with the point you were stressing?
Yeah, the point I was saying, I think Nigeria is doing the right thing. And since all efforts are towards making agriculture a main productive sector of the economy, anything that ought to be done should be supported. Our neighbors shouldn't be complaining, because I do not think that they will make a case that we should keep supporting their illegal entry into Nigeria. Nobody is saying if you have your good from Cotonou, from Niger, from Chad, from Ghana, once that good is produced there and they want to bring it into Nigeria, please bring it through the official channel. Let it be documented, let it be profiled, so that we know that this thing is coming from you. But I don't think it is right for you to be importing rice into your country for the sole purpose of what's smuggling it into Nigeria.
But I think there's an ECOWAS free trade agreement.
No, that's not the free trade. The free trade for ECOWAS is for goods produced within the ECOWAS territory. And that's the point I'm making. Okay. If you are producing your own products in whatever form within West Africa, the conventions and protocols of ECOWAS allow you to bring them in. And I don't think Nigeria would complain. And I don't think the so-called border closure, you understand, would want to breach that agreement. Okay. What this effort is emphasizing is to make sure that smuggled goods don't come. And the only way you can stop them from coming is by policing those routes where they were coming. And it is also worth emphasizing, when you close your border, it gives you the opportunity to assess the source of some of your problems. Even the security agencies have stated that because of this closure, with, I would say, because of this attention to the porous border, the security situation is improving. Because in any case, the arms that are being used within are not manufactured here, and they are not being imported in through the official channels.
So they are coming in through
these porous borders, routes. So if they are plugging in these leakages, we should be thankful to them and not questioning what they are doing. Those who are saying and making the case that the border closure would one way or the other hurt us, I do not think they're assessing the situation very well. The question I would want to ask, how would it hurt us? Because they are looking at only one commodity. For example, the argument is that rice has gone up because the smuggled rice is no longer coming in. Yes. But they forget that no matter how cheap that rice is, it is being paid for with dollar. And the dollar that we have here, we don't have dollars. We buy the dollar with some other products. You understand? So for us to make good use of that dollar, I do not think we should expend it on smuggled goods. Why not put it into efforts within that would themselves to have the multiplier effect of also rejigging some other aspects of the economy. For an example, if you put your rice production right, milling right, and all other aspects of agricultural production right, you attract finances into it. What that one would translate into is also industries that are what? Dependent on agriculture. For an example, the wine industry in South Africa, they have over 1,001 wineries, and the total economy of that per annum runs into billions of dollars. Much of the wines that we drink here are from South Africa. And all of that are dependent on what? South African farms. So it is not only the productive aspect or the production part of the agricultural chain line that you are going to rejig, but also all other industry, all other industrial activities that are dependent on that, they also would what? Be boosted because they would have the necessary raw materials for them to function.
Right.
For an example, you cannot make fruit juice without having what? The plantations that will supply you the raw materials that you need to make the fruit industry.
All right, you've made your point. Let me put you on pause so you take a breather.
Thank you very much.
Mohammed, some school of thought are like the border closure was too sudden and that we are not food sufficient. So there's a backlash, prices going up, scarcity of foods. What's your take on that?
I think it's a political statement, kind of.
Why?
Because
Political?
yeah, it's political because you see, basically for rice particularly, which is the greatest noise in public space.
As if rice is the only thing we eat.
Exactly, we have local substitutes for all this, and for each time we buy the local substitutes, you're conserving your dollars, and you're making your naira stronger. You're empowering the farmer. You're creating market for the farmer, and you are letting the farmer to grow. Okay, so maybe government has to do more in terms of public orientation.
Okay.
But fundamentally, honestly, there is no threat whatsoever that this closure can create that can stabilize this economy. Rather, we are helping Nigerians to create jobs. Okay, because as we speak, for instance, now government is pumping funds into rice, cotton, cassava, cashew, sesame seeds, oil palm, so on and so forth, in all sorts of interventions, including the Agribusiness program. Now, when these farmers go to farm and plant, okay, and they can't sell locally because of exactly of smuggled products from other countries, it puts the economy in serious jeopardy. Okay, so alongside improvements, believe me, and I want to just believe in all this, we need to support governments on this policy. We need to support government on this policy, and then for those of us looking for imported rice, let us please take our local rice, which is cheaper, okay, more nutritious, and far better.
But you said the prices have gone up.
Yes, it's a demand and supply thing.
Because of the scarcity.
Exactly, and hoarding and so on and so forth. Not just because of border closure. Okay, over time, these things will realign. Basically, on the field today, as we speak, a lot is being invested in the frontline rice producing states, Kebbi, Niger, Ebonyi, and so on and so forth. Okay, so we expect bumper harvest, which is happening as we speak, and a lot of milling companies, industries are being set up, okay, across. So we may need to pay more for now, but obviously we're also saving in terms of foreign exchange. Okay, our rice import bill was as high as $1 billion a day before now.
Are you serious?
Yeah, this has gone down drastically. Okay, we're importing as much as 8,619 million metric tons before now.
On a daily basis?
No, per annum.
Okay.
Before now. By 2018 figures, this crashed to about 8,620 metric tons. Okay, so you can see, and what should translate to higher reserves for us are being lost to smuggled and smugglers. Okay, so this is what the government is trying to stop. Okay, so there's no point encouraging smuggling where you can produce locally, creating jobs in the process. For every item smuggled into this country, government is losing revenue to the smugglers. Okay, you threaten your economy drastically. You are losing jobs as a result. You are entrenching poverty in no small ways. Okay, and you lose your integrity. Now, the public health angle of it is also very, very serious. We have had cases of imported chicken, turkey being processed with formalin, and dangerous chemicals, and rice that have expired in Thailand, in Vietnam, being smuggled into this country. For God's sake, we need to stop this, align with government. In any case, rice itself as substitute. Rice became staple food in Nigeria last 10 or 15 years thereabout. Those days it wasn't this consumed. Okay, so this government perhaps need to do more with NOA, that's National Agency, and to speak to public and get us realigned to its policies. But it's not solid in any way, because the ERGP document, which is the Economic Recovery Growth Plan, okay, and other policy documents of government have clearly outlined what will happen in all this. 3 years ago, 41 commodities were banned, rice inclusive. Okay, but there's no enforcement in terms of border closure.
Okay, is border closure the only way we can enforce it?
Yeah, if to check smuggling, yes. But like my colleague said here, and this is the characterization, the emphasis actually were borders that were porous. Okay, why smuggling if what you are selling to us is okay? And number two, the abuses are enormous. Now, rice that are to be consumed in Nigeria end up either in Togo or Benin Republic. So they pay the duties to those governments and then smuggle into Nigeria, losing revenue in the process. And this is the market. Imagine Benin Republic becoming the third largest importers of rice, okay?
And they are not consumers.
Exactly, over time. Where does those rice lead to? It's Nigeria. Turkey, the same, oil, vegetable, and so on and so forth. All kinds of garbage. So like I said, government ought to have done this some 20, 30 years ago. Okay, for lack of political will and probably compromises. Okay, so we lost so much. Okay, but here we are now. A government is belling the cat and establishing its relevance in this scheme of things. Let other economies go and sleep. Nigeria will not take this any longer. We are here now, and like you also emphasized, the security implication too, in terms of banditry. In fact, sometimes in June this year, 38 suspects were on the national news, on the national television being shown, and the one Benga or Jomo, somebody from Ondo State, said he has been smuggling arms for 15 years now. Between August 20th and now, we have seen drastic reduction in banditry, which is linked to an effective border policy.
So it's a win-win situation for us.
It is complete win, and win.
No nation depends on one source of revenue if it wants to create a sustainable economic development and a future for its citizens. Countries have all grown and sustained their respective economies through non-oil exports, and Nigeria Export Promotion Council (NEPC) is strategically positioned to do more on 22 priority export products under the Zero Oil Plan, the One State, One Product initiative, and the Nigeria Diaspora Export Program, which are needed pillars of success in our economic recovery and growth plan. Invest in non-oil export business such as sorghum, cassava, yam, shea nut, ginger, and reap bountifully. Export Business guarantees a prosperous future through inclusive wealth and job creation. Join hands to make Nigeria one of the top 20 largest economies in the world. Export Business, tomorrow's business. For further inquiries, visit nepc.gov.ng.
All right, on that note, let's round up. And what's your final take?
I think the government is doing the right thing. We should be patient with the government. In the near future, if this policy is sustained and this effective policing of the borders is sustained, believe me, we would all start smiling. When we started using the telephone, the GSM, it was very expensive. But today it's one of the cheapest things. By the time we have more people go into agriculture, I'm not just emphasizing, I don't want us to emphasize just rice. There are people doing very well in the rice production. A farm like Labana, it has shown everybody that there is money to be made in investing in rice. But there are so many other things that are there open for us to actually tap into. Agro-allied industries they've helped countries like Uganda, Malawi. They depend a lot on these small cottage industries that are dependent on agriculture. We should also be focusing on that. So much so that we should be able to start making our soaps, our cocoa, even our drinks. People don't know that much of the alcohol we drink, we spend billions of dollars on alcohol. All of this one comes from agricultural products. Let people know that, of course, they are growing sugarcane. They are growing so many of those things that are the, what do you call it now, the raw product for these things, the raw materials for this thing. So let people know that there is money to be made from agriculture, and it's so near. The farms are there, the lands are open, and I don't think it's difficult for you to get farms, for you to do very serious agriculture or industrial farming. Let us know that for us to develop in whatever form, the nearest step to it is through agriculture. And if we now have a government that has the political will and the nerve, the guts, to do that which is necessary, I do not think it should be distracted with the noise about whatever. People who are actually consuming rice know that if we have efforts that are being put into some other activities into rice farming, in the next 2-3 years, we may be buying rice at a much cheaper rate and export. Because if for anything, I think people have even started exporting yam and cassava.
Yeah. All right. Debola, on the following notes, what do you have to say to Nigerians?
Nigerians need to support governments in these critical times. The closure or self-closure should be encouraged. Then let's also organize ourselves and create cooperatives if you do have. Let us go into production. Okay. And
production alone?
Production, processing, the logistics and so on and so forth. Yes. The infrastructure may be far and not too much there, but hey, we can organize these things and make things happen around these areas. Also there are established organizations known to government that are very helpful, like FACAN, the Federation of Agro Commodity of Nigeria, AFAN itself, and so on and so forth. And state governments are even doing so much, to support these organizations. We need to do more. Rallying around these governments is asking us to improve our patriotism to government in a way, beyond agric, in a way that Nigeria can stamp our authority, among community nations.
As a giant of Africa. Thank you very much, guys, for coming on to the program.
Thank you once again for having me.
Thank you, madam.
All right. This is Nigeria, unlocking our potential. A country of over 200 million people. Is obviously the marketplace and the investment destination of choice. Every week, we bring you the non-oil sectors of the economy, ranging from agriculture, solid mineral, human capital development, education, health, and many more. Join us every Wednesday, 12:30 p.m. on this station. This is Nigeria, unlocking our potential. What I'm taking away from this discourse is that the closure of porous borders is very necessary for Nigeria to grow economically. The pains will be there, but the gains are coming. My name is Mayowa Oluwabiyi. Thank you for watching. God bless Nigeria.